You left. Okay, kindly let's start with the presentations. Let's begin with Lenia. Kindly share your screen with us and show us what you came up with, and then we can understand. We also know what you've designed for these 4 weeks you've been in the class. Thank you.
I worked on a problem of idleness. My name is Lenny Elizabeth once again from Mountain Mary's College, Namabunga. My problem was idleness among youth. So the objective is to keep the youth and kids busy, hence it will stopping crimes because of idleness. The problems, youth get idle and end up going for smoking, riots, drinking, or stealing. They undergo peer pressure from their friends and end up doing the above. The solution, this project will keep the youth busy with reading and other activities that are fun and educative.
Okay. Thank you so much, Lenia. Thank you so much. Can we have a look at the project?
So this is the project. It has different things. It's mostly about reading, like here for food. It has some recipes that they can try when you're bored, and some facts about food when that you can just read and gather some information. Then for animals, they're also. Are you seeing my screen?
Not really. We are still seeing the PowerPoint.
Kindly, Lenia, we're not seeing the project. We are seeing the PowerPoint.
Are you seeing it now?
Yes.
Yes, now we're seeing
Okay,
it. Thank you.
I was saying here for food, there's some recipes here that they can try when they are bored at home. There are simple recipes which require simple tools and some facts about food that can help you gather some small information about food when you're not busy. Then animals, there's a quiz about animals here and also other facts about animals. Then gaming, there are some games which you can try out that can just keep you busy. So the point of this project was just to get something to keep the youth busy in their free time. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much.
Project.
Thanks so much, Lenia. That was a good project. Yes, Esther, you have a question to Lenia?
It's a good project.
Yes, Esther. Wow, thank you so much, Esther. Esther likes your project, Lenia.
Thank you.
Do you have any questions coming through to Lenia about our project?
Yes, my only question is that.
And you look like you have a question.
My only question is that they are showing the facts. So when you click on any of those facts, like let's say the gaming part, or
You're not audible, Andrew.
does it show? Yeah, I was
I
asking.
couldn't hear that, and I don't know if the others could hear that.
Yes, I was asking
Mm.
that via that part where it is showing the animal facts and the gaming parts. If you click on them, would like to see what is inside there. Actually. Like where, like in the gaming part, or the animal facts part, or the cooking part, or maybe it just ends there like that. Because it's also either way good.
Did you hear that, Lenia?
Not really.
Andrew, can you use the chat for that? Probably we can see it here in the chat, and we can pick on it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Andrew. Lenia, kindly, could you please share screen again of your work and try to show us how to go around it and play and work with it. Yes, Lenia, we're asking you to reshare your screen and then you help us try out to show us how to work around your project. Let's minimize the Wi-Fi that it's using here. And you guys want the stuff. Hi everyone. My name is Joel. I've been watching you guys. I've been watching Lenia's project. I understand most of you have interacted with me before. I have seen Esther, Andrew, I haven't, we haven't interacted yet, and Pamela. I don't know why you guys are switching off your videos. At this point, I'm going to ask every one of us to kindly switch on their videos such that I can be able to see all of you. And in that way, we shall be more interactive. I want to know that all of us are in the class. Okay, Andrew, you had a question for Lenia. So can you unmute your microphone and ask it one more time? Oh, you were saying the part of animal facts or gaming. Does it show anything inside, or it's just a book? That was a question for Lenia. So Lenia, can you tell us when you click that part of the animal or gaming, is it just a book or it shows anything inside? And if it does, what is it? Is Lenia in the class? So I can't see Lenia in the class. She must have
Yes,
she must have left.
am I being heard?
Okay, when she comes back, oh, she's here. She's here. So Lenia, there's a question for you in the chat area. Someone is asking whether when you click on the someone is asking whether when you click on the books, is it just a book when you click on the animal and gaming? Is it just a book or it shows something?
For the gaming, there are games. And for animal facts, it's just like a book which has facts about animals.
So the games are working now. Lenia, can you switch on your video? I want to be able to see all of you. And by the all of you that have switched off your videos, I request that all of you put it back such that I am able to see whether you guys are in class or you're out. Yeah. And then when you're speaking, I will ask you to unmute your microphone, and whoever is not speaking, they are supposed to mute their microphone such that we don't get interference from others. So Lenia, someone wanted to see the games in that area, whether they are playing or not. You can share your screen and then take us through the games. I assume Lenia has internet problems. She's already on and off, but we shall interact with her. We shall interact with her when she gets back. So at this point, we are going to have another one present their work. But before we continue, we should appreciate she really has nice work. For me, it really looked good for me. Okay, right now, Andrew is next on the list. So
Okay.
you can please share your screen
Microphone, is it?
and show us your work for today.
Yes, I'm testing microphone. Am I being properly? Am I being heard properly?
Yes, Andrew.
Good morning, everyone. No, my name is Andrew Calder, as you can see here. from 5 or 6 minutes to 10. Now, problem that are solving is this trying to promote the stay home, stay safe motto that everyone has been doing, and the ways to make sure people stay home. Because normally people be moving outside, they're bored at home, they lack what to do. Most of the youth they stay there, and most of them want to go out and party, but they cannot. So the problem is being solved is that boredom at home by the youth, which compels them to move out of the house to go for like parties and have fun, which ends up in the spread of the coronavirus and stuff through them. Also through the youth, and also it can help out with other problems like the ongoing campaigns that are going on whereby they cannot easily get involved and get harmed. So the solution that I had made was design the short skit to help the youth understand how to keep home and safe and find ways to be still happy at home. This includes the games, which is obviously the biggest problem, having fun, like music and dance. Most people want that. So that also, and also mostly the games like they want to normally play. Most of them don't have the so-called PlayStations. Like they want to have the PlayStation 5 and stuff. You go out yes, as I was saying, also those problems where they want to go out and play competition. Design a short skip music whereby most of them in this generation they like music. Music keeps them calm, safe, can be able to sleep while listening to music, do any work, listen to music and stuff. Also being able to learn through educating where you can easily learn how to prevent and control the deadly disease and stuff. So let's get straight to it. Now, this is a skit that I prepared. You're so funny. No, shut up. Mm, shut up. Right here, the virtual DJ part is where now you have to click on it in order to use it. All these stuff, this is the playlist. This is it if you want to listen to the music. Now you insert any number of your choice. Anyone who has a number that they want to play, like let's say it's now if you're tired of the song, you simply tap stop song. Then you want another one, you click on it, then you tap on the other song that you want. Let's say 4. Playlist is here. You can choose any you want. Add, stop the song, start up another one. Choose any, choose like 8. Now play all these songs. Now, if you're done with listening to the music and stuff, stop the song, then go to the next part. Now, here's where I begin the score clear for you to see how if you're really aware of you listen to the adverts and all the awareness programs to see if you know. Now, there are some few questions here. First one, if you want to do exercises and run out totally, now you choose either A or B. You choose, it's correct, you put for the answer there. Now, so here, the other question, also it as you can see that there's also a score. Now you choose, either A or B, any of the ones that you think is correct. Now in this case, choose A and A was wrong. And then it will give you also the correct thing to do, not the one that you have chosen that was the score because you failed it. Then this one also, the score increases. Now this is the final part, leaves you the steps, protect yourself, clean your hands often, avoid close contact, stay home, stay safe. Then this one I don't know what will happen, but that is supposed to be shown clearly. If I made a mistake, but still, if you're done with that, you press the end. And your score is cool. Means this one you're not well acquainted with it. That's the end.
Thank you so much, Andrew. I really enjoy your work. I liked what you do. Though I have a question. Now, what if you chose the wrong answer? What happens to the score?
No, I already explained that part of the wrong answer. When you choose the wrong answer, the score does not change. Stay static unless you choose the correct answer. Which when you choose the wrong answer, I had chosen the wrong answer before there. It showed the correct thing, the explanation of the correct answer. It tells you it's wrong, then it gives you the explanation of the correct answer, what should be done.
Okay, thank you very much. I really enjoy your work. I see you really put too much thought in it, and it is related to stopping real life problems, especially the pandemic that everyone is having. And I like the fact that you also talked about the elections that we are going through. Keep it up. It is really good work.
Yes.
Does anyone from here have a question for him just before we continue?
Yeah. Any questions? That's the presentation.
Pamela says, Andrew, thank you for the presentation. They really like your work. Yeah.
It's well thought through.
Okay. At this point, it looks like no one has a question for Andrew. By the way, we are live on YouTube, so you can always go back and rewatch the videos and look through whatever we look through the projects. If you have missed or if you've come late and you missed the first presentations, we are going to post. I'm going to post the link in the group shortly, so you guys can always go and rewatch after it's done. At this point, let me invite Esther to show us her work. So Esther, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Um,
Um,
so my
so
project
my
is
project
about
is about domestic violence. So
at
at
the
the
beginning
beginning
of
of the
the lockdown,
lockdown,
domestic
domestic
violence
violence
was
was
one
one
of
of
the
the
biggest
biggest problems
problems in
in
our
our
country.
country. So
So
I'm
I'm
doing a
doing a
project
project
to
to
sensitize
sensitize
people
people
about
about
domestic
domestic
violence.
violence. So the
So the
problems that are
problems that are
caused by
caused by
domestic
domestic
violence, in
violence,
other
in
words,
other words,
why
why
domestic
domestic
violence is
violence
bad.
is bad.
First, the
First, the
definition:
definition:
domestic
domestic
violence
violence is abuse in a domestic setting or
is
cohabitation.
cohabitation.
That's
That's
like
like
a
a
marriage or
marriage or
people
people
living
living together.
together. Then
Then
violence
violence
is
is
behavior that is
that is
intended to
intended
harm
to harm
someone.
some.
I
I
think
think
that
that
one we
one we
all
all
know.
know.
Then
Then
the
the
effects
effects
or
or
the
the
problems,
problems
the
are
bad,
like
the
the bad
bad side
side
of
of
it,
it.
but I don't think it has a good side.
So
So
children
children
who
who
experience
experience
any
any
form
form
of
of
domestic
domestic
violence
violence
at
at
high
high
risk
risk
of
of
having
having
health
health
complications
complications
as
as
adults.
adults.
So these health
Health
complications
complications
can be
can be
physical
physical
and they
and they
can be
can be
emotional.
emotional. And it
Depends
depends
on
on
what
what
kind
kind
of
of
violence
violence
that
that
they
they
will
were
experience.
experiencing.
Then
Then
also
also
violence
violence
has
has
a
a
huge
huge
negative
negative
effect to
effect to
women
women
in
in
their
their
reproductive
reproductive
health.
health.
Then
Then
to
to
any
any
victim,
victim,
violence
violence
can
can
cause
cause
lifelong
lifelong
effects to a
effects to a
person,
person,
including
including
depression and
depression and
trauma.
trauma.
So most
So
of you
most
have
of you have
seen
seen the people,
the
the
victims
victims
of
of
violence,
violence, like for example, the rape
victims.
victims.
Let
Let
me
me
say,
say, for
for example, the
example, the
ones
ones
who
who
are
are
bullied
bullied
at
at
school,
school,
they
they
always
always
go
go
through
through
depression.
depression.
I'm
I'm
sure
sure
you've
you've
heard
heard
of
of
people
people
who
who
have
have
that
that problem, like they
experience
experience
anxiety.
anxiety.
Then
Then
also
also trauma.
trauma
Trauma
can
can
be
be lifelong or it
can
can
be
be
temporary,
temporary,
but
but
either
either
way
way,
it's
it's not good for a
person.
person.
Then
Then
the
the
solutions
solutions
to
to
domestic
domestic
violence,
violence and
also
also
violence.
violence in general.
So
So
there are
there are many
many solutions.
solutions.
Um, a
A
few
few
that
that
I
I
can
can
explain.
explain.
I
I
can
can
start
start
with
with
the
knowing the
signs
signs
of
of
domestic
domestic
violence.
violence.
So the
So the
best way
best
you
way you
can
can
prevent
prevent
it
it
is
is knowing the signs,
how
how
it
it
is
is
and
and
how it
how it
takes
takes
place.
place.
Then
Then
don't
don't
ignore
ignore
the
the
victim.
victim. In
Case
case
you
you
see
see
it
it
happening,
happening,
don't
don't
ignore
ignore
it
it
just
just
because
because
you
it's
see it
not
happening.
happening to you.
Then
Then
knowing the
knowing the
emergency
emergency
helpline to
helplines
call.
to call.
Those are
Those
the
are the
numbers
numbers that you can call in case you're seeing it happen
or
or
like
like any kind of problem is in your community and you don't know what to do. Then
tell
tell
a
a
friend,
friend,
the
the
authorities,
authorities,
or
or
anyone
anyone
else
else
you
you
trust.
trust.
If
If
you
you
have
have
any
any
kind
kind
of
of
problem,
problem,
this
this
is
is
the
the
best
best
option.
option.
Tell
Tell
someone
someone
you
you
trust,
trust,
or you
or
can
you
go
can
to
go
the
to the
authorities.
authorities.
Then
Then
there are
there are
also
also
other
other
solutions
solutions
here,
here,
but
but I've
I've
outlined
outlined these
these
ones.
ones. They are the
Major
major
ones.
ones.
No. Hmm?
We are
This
not
is the
able to hear you. Okay. Now we can hear you.
straight. So this is the beginning part. So here we have three buttons: awareness, then the horrible effects, and then there is a quiz here. There is also another heart where it shows what you can do. So I broke them down into 4 pieces so that to prevent it from like being boring and like that. So here is the awareness part. So here in the awareness part, there is the causes. If you want to know what it is, the signs, and also important facts about it. So here, like for example, I'm a person who has just heard of it, and what do I want to know about it? What do I want to know about it? I want to know its causes. So I type in here, number one, the causes.
Alcoholism and poverty are some of the major causes of domestic violence.
So it has told you some of the major causes. So also there are other options that you can click on in case you want to know anything else about it. So here we have the horrible effects. These are the effects of domestic violence to a victim or even violence in general. So now you can go to what you can do. Here in this part of what you can do, it shows you, like for example, here it has the helplines or numbers that you can call for those who don't know them. So now when you click on it, it tells you the helplines that you can internationally then, but it has for Uganda since we are in Uganda, most of us. So you can go back if you're done seeing them. Then here is also like how to deal with it. So here it has like for people who are going through it, here are some tips that can help you. So after you're done with that part, the final part, there is a quiz down here. We'll ask you what your name is. So the questions that are in this quiz, important life questions, but there are few. Like for example, if you're in a situation where your friends are constantly making fun of you, is that a healthy relationship? It's not. Then here it asks you, do you know your country's domestic violence hotline? And if you don't know it, like for example, no, it tells you that make sure you know it because it's important to know it. Straight. So it broadcasts other questions. It's supposed to bring another question, but something happened here. The question is supposed to be in a situation when someone is being bullied, what do? You select you select the answer, like for example here, C, you report. Then here it asks, do you think domestic violence is only physical? No, it's not only physical. Do you think that it can occur in only a home environment? No. It's making a. So it's supposed to end there. Then the message at the back which says to spread the awareness in case you see it happening to anyone.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Esther. I am really glad. I like your work. It is really explicit and you are detailed. It shows that you took time to think through it. But I have a question for all of you. Do you know your country's domestic violence hotline? Anyone? Anyone? Andrew, you want to give it a try? Andrew is already out. I can't see most of you. Pardon? Okay, Esther knows it, and she even went ahead to use it in her project. Though I have another question for you, Esther. So what if you chose a wrong answer? What happens to the score? Does it reduce? Does it just stop adding that? Or does it give you any
It's
corrections?
supposed to reduce by
Could you please
negative.
throw more light on that?
It's supposed to reduce by -5.
Okay. So there's a chance that at the end of your quiz, if you failed all the questions, you could end up with a negative number.
With a negative number.
Okay, that's very, very good.
So that you don't
For me personally,
about
I like your work. I didn't get that word that you were saying. Yeah?
And also, if you failed all the questions, it would show that you don't know anything about domestic violence. Because those questions which I put are the simple, like basic questions for things that you should be knowing about it.
Yeah, and I think that's the reason for creating this project because we believe there are very, very many people out there who don't know a thing about domestic violence, yet they are going through it. And I like that part in your work where you say that domestic violence is not only physical, it could be psychological, and it can also be on the internet. You talked about cyber. I saw something about cyberbullying in somewhere in your project. So thank you very much. I like your work. Does anyone here have a question for Esther before we proceed to the next presentation? No one has a question for Esther.
I don't think there's any question because everything is well explained and we understood them well.
Okay, at this point, we have many more presentations coming up, but our colleagues, the ones who are supposed to present, are not yet here. They haven't joined. Yeah, and also I'm going to ask all of you who have muted who have switched off your screens, that you put them back. I want to be able to see all of you, and this is an interactive session. It's not that it is only me who is speaking or the person who is presenting. I want all of us to engage and be active. That's the best way we can all learn. Yeah. You may be wondering why you have never seen me. I am also one of your trainers, though I haven't been so common in these classes. My name is Jewel Musumba, and I assume we shall be meeting in other sessions. We have, I talked to some of you. We have an artificial intelligence session coming up. You guys must be very, very excited about that. It is going to be. Does anyone of you know anything about artificial intelligence?
Yes.
Or machine learning? Machine learning. Okay, Esther, tell us what you know about artificial intelligence.
Please, I've not heard. You're breaking.
But you said that you know something about artificial intelligence. I just want you to tell your friend, to tell your colleagues and me what you know about artificial intelligence.
Me, what I know is that intelligence is like the ability to perceive knowledge. So now, like when you say artificial intelligence, let me say, for example, it means that you involve also computers. That is meaning like human intelligence, which is the ability to perceive and understand information, plus machines or computers will give you artificial intelligence when you combine the two.
Exactly. Exactly. Thank you very much. If I couldn't be more articulated. So artificial intelligence, just like Esther said, is a combination of human knowledge and computer knowledge. When you combine that, you'll be able to come up with something called artificial intelligence. Now, it does things that are more like what humans do. It is basically telling a computer to do things that a human being would do. For example, uh, a computer on its own, it cannot be able to recognize your face when it sees you or your voice. But through artificial intelligence, you can be able to teach it, and it is able to learn how, maybe how to be able to learn your voice, to recognize your voice from many, many other voices. It could be able to recognize your face out of many. It can also be able to recognize your thumbprint. Many of you, I know you use phones that require using a thumbprint or fingerprint. Yes, and then the reason why I'm telling you all this is that we are coming up with a course for artificial intelligence, and you guys are going to be able to make computers do these things. We are going to be using a software called PictoBlocks. I understand most of you have heard of it, though none of you has interacted with it as yet. But it's no worries, we are going to look at that. And then after that, we shall also be having a competition where many, many prizes will be won by you guys. This competition is going to encompass artificial intelligence, machine learning. Oh, by the way, does anyone have an idea what machine learning is?
I think so. Maybe what I would say is sounds like layman's language learning using machines.
Yeah.
Andrew, I didn't get what you said.
As saying, as though I'm hearing it, layman's language would mean learning using machines. like using a computer to be able to learn something else.
Okay, yeah, you are right. And then also Esther had an answer.
I was saying yeah to what Andrew was saying. That's what I
Okay, both of you have correct answers. Andrew said that machine learning is using machines to learn things. It is true. But I would put it this way: machine learning is more like creating robots or something like that, making a machine to do something. Making have you guys seen the things on TV where someone is sitting in front of a robot and he turns his head and also the robot turns his head to the same direction? Yeah, or people, have
yeah.
you guys seen people interacting with drones, or most especially when they are when they are covering news on TV? Like if you guys follow news, you will see that sometimes the camera is really, really up in the sky and it couldn't be a helicopter that was capturing that. So people are using technology like
Yes.
drone
Yes.
technology and all those things. So now that technology that controls the drone is part of machine learning, and we are going to look at that. It is not entirely hardware, but they use some software that we are going to use also to program a remote that whenever you click this button, it should tell the drone to fly up. Whenever you click this button, it should tell the drone to move forward, as well as capturing things. And then this competition is not just about it. Now, don't worry if you don't know anything about machine learning or artificial intelligence. We are going to teach you things. And then I'm just giving you an overview of what these competitions are about and what is yet to come in future. By the way, these new courses, artificial intelligence and machine learning, are happening this December. We shall also have game development as well as storytelling. I understand you guys have looked at game development and storytelling. We are going to use PictoBlocks for it. PictoBlocks, you don't get worried by the name, or don't get scared by the name. It entirely looks like Scratch. Even this interface looks like Scratch. If I can share my screen shortly, I'll be able to show you how it looks like. Okay, you guys, at this point, I understand you are able to see my screen. If you just went to Google and typed PictoBlocks, this is what comes up. I know it entirely looks there is no difference between PictoBlocks and Scratch. The only reason why we are using PictoBlocks is because it contains more features that are not in Scratch, like artificial intelligence extensions, as well as machine learning extensions. You can see in this particular picture down here, some small, like a cupboard is connected to a computer. In other words, this board is called an Arduino board. I know most of of you haven't heard of it, it might sound confusing, but it is what they can. Now, this computer, someone is trying to tell this board to be doing an activity. Now, when this board is shifted to a drone or something, depending on what you are programming, it will do exactly what you told it to do. And PictoBlocks, the good thing about PictoBlocks is it can be downloaded on your phone as well. Whether you're using Android or iOS, you can be able to use it. Yeah, does anyone have any questions for me before we continue?
Isn't it very large?
Very large, you mean downloading on the phone?
Yes.
It's about 53 MBs. I don't think that's too much. Depends on your space on the computer or phone or whatever device that you're using. By the way, I hope all of you are able to see that link, the chat link, the link that I posted in the chat area. It goes directly to the Code Academy YouTube channel, where this meeting is recorded, and very many more others. So if you can go and have a look at it, you'll be able to see very, very many more other presentations that have been happening, and you can always gauge yourself. Yeah, let me share something small with you as we wait for our colleagues to join.
You can give them allowance of 15 minutes. If they don't appear, we close.
I hope all of you can see my screen. If you are not able to see my screen, you can always send me a message, or you can tell me here. So, what you see on the screen is what I actually have been talking about. Code Academy Uganda, in conjunction with Codiva. I understand most of you don't know what Codiva is, have organized competitions this December. And these competitions are basically artificial intelligence competitions. And they are in different age groups, starting from around 13 years. That's the youngest age group. And then the oldest age groups goes up to around 17 years. So if you are between 13 and 17 years, you can be able to, you are eligible to the competitions. And these competitions are about artificial intelligence. As I had explained earlier, what artificial intelligence and what most of you said, it is computer knowledge, which almost exactly looks like human knowledge. The most examples of artificial intelligence that we know are Alexa, Siri, and the most famous one, which is Cortana. Cortana for Windows. Alexa, I think Alexa is for Amazon, and Siri is for Apple. So most of the things that artificial intelligence does is recognize faces. That's what we all know. If you have interacted with apps like Snapchat, you know exactly what I am talking about. Now that knowledge of the computer, knowing where your face is, knowing where your mouth is, where your ear, and putting all those funny things is part of artificial intelligence. You can also see it in CCTV cameras. You guys have not, if some of you have been to control centers of where the CCTV cameras are, you are able to see that those cameras actually box out people. They box out every human being, and they are able to identify them. If the system knows you, it can even put a name or something that they know about you. For example, if you have a criminal record and it identifies you, it can always name you out. For example, in the previous riots that have been there, and by the way, I don't advise you to get involved in political riots, but you realize that there were people who were trying to fight authorities and beat up people, beat up police people. Now, the thing is that those people were captured, and one of the reasons why one of the things that is their arrest is the CCTV cameras. Now they were able to not only identify these people, but to also name them out. Yes, so that means actually when you go out and pass a CCTV camera, it is not just a camera that looks at you. There is more to it than just looking at you. So with artificial intelligence, you are able to do things like that. You are able to tell a computer to act like that, to identify people, not only people, but even plants or animals or other things. Yeah, and also artificial intelligence can be used in industries, for example, picking out bottles, picking out defects on things, identifying items that have defects on them, and things like that. Now, this is exactly what I have been talking about. Artificial intelligence is used mostly in surveillance. Realize that every person that is passing here is boxed out from the head. The head is boxed out separately from their body. And then just besides here, there's some detail about them. And then some of those details include their names, their height, their sex, their marital status, whether they are single or engaged. And just by one look at you, it is able to identify almost your entire family. Because, for example, for those of you here who have national IDs are registered with the government in the government database. So when it looks at you and it identifies your face, it not only knows you, but it knows that you are related to someone. It knows who your father is, who your mother is, and they are able to trace you just like that. Let me give you a small, just a small story. When I went to apply for a national ID, I took a picture, the picture that is supposed to be on my national ID, but somehow it wasn't clear. So I waited for about 3 to 5 months. I'm not sure. So I went back to pick my national ID, and these guys told me, Joel, you know what? We cannot give you your national ID. So I was upset. I was like, why? And they told me, we can only give you a national ID if you took another picture, because this one cannot be recognized. What that means is that it cannot only be recognized by individuals, but even the computer, the face recognition software couldn't see it. It couldn't, it was so dark that the computers couldn't recognize who that person was. Now, that means that your picture is in a database somewhere where a computer can see it and identify who is in that picture. Now, all that is the work of artificial intelligence. Yeah, so as Andrew and Esther said, artificial intelligence is a combination of human knowledge and artificial intelligence. Yeah, so we are going to have competitions this December about artificial intelligence after doing a study for about a week. Now, in this course that we are going to do for artificial intelligence, we are going to use the software called PictoBlocks. For those who don't know where it is found, let me share with you a link for where you can download it from. Shortly, just give me 1 minute. So all you have to do is come to your browser and type PictoBlocks, enter, and then type. There is this website called thestempedia.com. Click on it. I think it's always the first option when you write PictoBlocks in your browser. It will bring you to this. It will bring you to this website here. Let me actually post this link in the chat area, such that if someone there fails to get to the site, at least so I have already posted the link to this very site in the chat area. So all you have to do is come to this site and then download PictoBlocks. If you're using an Android device, this option will be the only option available. If you're using Linux, this is the option that you're supposed to click. And if you're using an Apple machine, you're going to click this machine. Now, for me, given the fact that I'm using a Windows machine, this is the only option that I have. So you click it, it will download on your computer, and then you'll be able to install it. The installation process is simple. And just in case you get confused, there are already steps here. It's just 1, 2, and 3 steps you can come and read through while you install. I am not going to take you through the installation process. 1, because we are out of time. And secondly, because we are waiting for our friends to join in such that they can present to us their work. But just in case they don't show up, we shall be able to finish this and then we shall call it a day. So after you have downloaded that, let me go back to our presentation. Okay. So with PictoBlocks, you are able to do almost the same things that you were doing using Scratch. You can see from its look, even the interface is actually the same as Scratch. So it's just the only difference between it and Scratch is that this one has more functionalities than Scratch. You can do animation with it, just like most of you have done in your projects. You can do games with it, just like Lisa did. You can do robots, just as we talked about, and also you can do artificial intelligence.
I have a question.
Yes.
I was asking that is on this application, can you like connect it to a machine or robot and that machine does the instructions that you've given on the what? On the PictoBlocks interface?
Yes, yes, you are. It is exactly what I was talking about. You connect it to, you can connect it to a machine. There is a small device called an Arduino chip. You will see it as you interact with Scratch. Now you can use that chip to program. It is like an external hard disk, but only that this one is smaller. So if you can give me a minute, let me show it to you, such that you don't get confused. Uh, Machine learning. By the way, Lisa, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. In here. These are all the participants that I have. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sure, yeah. So just don't know maybe. Okay. Yes. Okay. Cases. Yeah, come. Okay. Kataja kuwa ngamba da. Anenda ko. Okay. Kale. Okay. So, guys, sorry for the inconvenience. We were just, that was just a small thing. Now, if you can, are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
If you are able to look at this picture, this computer has been connected to this. I think someone is trying to program a toy car to do something. So this is how your machine learning looks like, and this is how you're always going to be interacting with it. Now, this computer, whatever commands that you put in the computer are transferred directly to this whatever you're trying to whatever robot that you're trying to interact with. There are very many more examples. Just if you have time, you can look at it on YouTube to find more about machine learning using PictoBlocks. But don't worry about that. At Code Academy, we are going to look at all that. Now, let's go back to our presentation. Given the fact that our friends are back and they are now in class, let me finish what I was showing you, and then our friends will also present. Okay. About the competitions, just as I had said earlier, they are in three categories. There is one for storytelling. Then we also have artificial intelligence and machine learning. Then we also have game development and hardware projects. Now, to be part of these competitions, you register. You are going to first register. I will provide you the link in the chat area. Now, the registration starts from, actually, it started a long time ago and it is ending on the 3rd December. Please, if you have a pen and paper ready, just note down these dates. On 3rd December is when registration is ending. And then the next day after that, we shall be having our studies. We shall introduce artificial intelligence. Now, this time we are going to focus more on artificial intelligence, and then later, maybe in the next classes that will come, that's when we shall introduce machine learning. Now, the learning starts from 4th December to 11th December. Mark these dates. If you have a pen and paper already somewhere, write them. Now, from 11th to 18th is when you will be doing your work, programming, and then submit your work online. We shall be showing you where to submit your work. I just remember that this work is part of the competitions, so it will be this work that we shall use to judge your performance and see where see whether you are a winner or not. Now, the winners on the national level will be announced on 9th January, and the winners internationally will be announced on 10th January. One thing that I didn't tell you, these competitions are not just in Uganda, but they are international as well. But they are in two categories. There is one for just Uganda alone, and then there is one for the entire world. So you guys are not only going to be competing with people from the same location, you're going to be competing people from the US, from India, from whichever part of the world, just in all those who joined. Now, some of the prizes that are going to be won include Apple iPads, educational STEM kits, smartwatches, and special category awards. And the prizes are worth more than 6,000 US dollars in total. Now, how to participate? This is what I was talking about earlier. You follow this link below. I think let me forward it in the group. If you want to join, let me forward this link in the group. So all you have to do is to follow that link and register. Now, after that, the learning process will begin, just as I told you. And then the step number 3 will be development. You guys will have to do the projects and then submit them in. After you have submitted them in, we shall be showing you how to do all this. The next step will be winning. I hope this is going to be a simple task, given the fact that you guys already know what Scratch is and you have interacted with Scratch. It will be very easy for you to use PictoBlocks. Yeah, and so these are, I know you have interacted with these faces before. You have seen Teacher Brenda, you have seen Teacher Happiness, you have seen Edward, the one who was in class, and then of course, that's me. So that was just a brief break. So let's continue with our.
Excuse me.
Yes.
So like last year, before like these things of learning online, or even the year before, they like used to come to for example, me at my school education center, they came for some children, then they took them. I was in P7 at that time. They came for some children, then they took them, is it to Makerere University? Then they participated in something African Code Week challenge. Is it
African Code Week challenge.
okay?
This one is almost like that, only that this one is going to be Africa Code Week Challenge is also part of the academy, but only that the only difference with Africa Code Week Challenge and this one is that this one is international. And then the one for Africa Code Week, just by its name, is for African, basically, just on the African continent. I don't know whether I have answered your question really well. But if you guys still have any queries, you can always post them in the chat area. So now we are proceeding with our presentations. Okay, now at this moment, let me invite Kate to show us her work. Yes.
Are there any Ugandans who have yet won on international level?
Yeah. Now, why are you worried about whether Ugandans have won or not? Ugandans have won in very many positions internationally, and Esther, you cannot exclude yourself from winning because you have all that it takes to be a winner. So, if I'm to answer your questions, yes, there are going to be Ugandans who will win in the international competitions. Don't worry much about that. And you have to win, Esther. You really have to win. So, Keith, I don't know, you have muted your microphone and you have switched off your screen. I don't know whether you're there, but it is your time for you. It is your time to present. So I am going to mute my microphone and I'm going to allow you a chance to speak. The floor is yours. Yes, Keith, are you there? If you cannot speak, you can type something. Okay, talk to us. It is your time to present. So the floor is yours. You can share the screen. I have enabled screen sharing.
Okay. Hello everyone. My name is Keith. So the reason I created my game is so when you're bored at home, you can play something interesting, so you don't have to go outside. So the goal of my game is to you're supposed to guess which cup has the ball in it. And if you there's level 1 and level 2. So in level 1 the cups will switch costume. So when I click level 1, the cups begin spinning, and then you have to pick a cup And if it has the sprites, and it has the ball. So the goal of level 2 is the cups are mixing, then there's a ball and a bomb. You're supposed to guess where the ball is and avoid the bomb. It's not in cup 3. It's not in cup.
Keith, I was already enjoying your work because it is similar to a game that I know that I've always been playing ever since I was young. I like the idea. I like the idea, and you're really very creative. You can use that knowledge in applying for yeah, the national scratch competition as well as the international codiver. You can really earn some good marks. I like your work. I don't know what has happened to your network, but I really want to interact with your work more. I also like the fact that you have your work up on the Scratch website, so anytime anyone can come and see your work online. By the way, you guys, I advise you to have Scratch accounts and always post your work up on Scratch such that you can access it from anywhere, whether you're with a phone, whether you're with a tablet, or you're at home, or you're using a new machine. So, Keith, talk to us, and we want to know whether you're still there, and if you're still, if you, I understand. By the way, guys, Keith is traveling. That's why he's not, his internet is not stable, and that's why he's on and off. We really understand and love your work. So we are going to call upon the next person to present while we wait for Keith. Okay, now Elijah, it is your time. Yeah, the floor is yours. Thank you. You can share your screen. Screen sharing has been enabled. Elijah, we are waiting for your presentation. I understand you're with Aaron Kwesima. You guys are using the same laptop, right? That's according to the information that I am getting. And we are eager to see what you have done because all these guys have really nice work. I am liking this class. I should also enroll. Elijah, are you there? If you are not able to talk to us, you can always use the chat box and write a message to us. Okay, Elijah is sharing his screen. We are not able to hear you, so I suggest that you unmute your microphone. And before you start, you introduce yourself, tell us your name, your school, and then tell us a brief introduction about your project, what it does, and then and then you can present your work, just like all your other friends have been doing.